Speaking of how do you gather all of your things and get out in a moment's notice, Brian Claypool is with us. He typically is someone we turn to for legal analysis, but Brian, you are in the process of evacuating your home in L.A. right now. How much time did you have to evacuate? Give me a sense of your situation at the hour.
Hey, Marnie. Hi. 15 minutes, basically. I just got in the car with my daughter. I grabbed a sweatshirt. I don't even know. Can you hear me okay? It's echoing a little bit.
Yep, I can hear you.
I literally, so just so your viewers know, I live up near the Rose Bowl area, near the Rose Bowl football stadium. And just like your correspondent said, we've never had anything like this before. It's a very beautiful area above the Rose Bowl, a beautiful home, beautiful neighborhood, and the police are everywhere on our street. It's a mandatory evacuation. I've got a 9-month-old baby. I'm a single parent. My nanny's grabbing the baby to put in the car. We've got a dog. I basically grabbed a sweatshirt and my glasses, and that's it. You don't have time. You don't have time to think. And the scariest part, Marnie, is the smoke is so dense that it permeated the house, our house. So this stench of smoke is already in our house. So it's just absolutely terrifying.
Oh, Brian, boy, am I thinking about you, praying for you. Do you have a safe evacuation route? I'm thinking of some of those traffic jams yesterday where folks left their car. Do you have a clear path to get to somewhere safe?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're driving toward a town called South Pasadena, and then we're going to drive east toward a town called Monterey Park. So there is a lot of traffic I live on a main strip, and there's a lot of traffic trying to get out right now. But I think we'll be okay to get out. But I have to tell you, I mean, just so your viewers know, I mean, the area, it's staggering. The area we're in usually is not exposed to the fire, and apparently a fire started about a mile or so from our house up on the hill in a town called La Cañada, which is right contiguous to Pasadena. So there are trees everywhere on the streets. I think what people need to understand is we're helpless. There's nothing that anybody can do right now to really fight these fires. It's more like you escape and you try to get away and you pray for the best. It's like David versus Goliath right now. That's how I can explain this.
Yeah, and I mean, just not getting any better with these winds whipping around. I fear with the light of day, we'll see just how bad things have gotten. You mentioned the smoke as you leave. What else are you seeing around you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm seeing just a lot of frenzy. Everybody is getting out and just in their cars. Like the smell is, I can't even touch. Like I'm like shocked. I'm shocked. The smell is so bad. It's scary because it tells you how close you are to the fires. And I guess what I'm worried about is like where this fire is near my house. It must have jumped a freeway to get over into our area. That's what's terrifying. So the other thing that I'm seeing, Marty, is I am seeing like embers like flying in the air. Like that's what scares me the most. Like the embers. Like I'm like driving literally right next to the Rose Bowl. It's like kind of getting emotional because the Rose Bowl is like Rose Bowl is like history.
And we were just watching, an iconic football game there just a week ago. Boy, it's amazing. Hold it together as best you can, but God bless your heart that you are dealing with this. I have in my notes that you had a family staying with you who had to evacuate. Is that true? And where are they? And what was their story?
They've likely lost their house. My mom was positive they have lost their home because they were right near the source of the first fire called the Eaton fire. We were with them last night at the neighbor's house, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. Just a young family, husband, wife, 3 kids. Their dogs were over at the house. Their house, I'm sure, is gone. They've now vacated to go to an area further south. So we're trying to drive south of Pasadena and east to get away from the fire. That's where we're headed. But look, at the end of the day, Marnie, I just the sweatshirt, sweats, my kids and the nanny, and you forget about personal belongings, and you just try to get safe. And I'm just praying for everybody to be physically safe. And look, if the houses go down, we've got to rebuild. But it feels like an apocalypse. It's absolutely terrifying. I can't even tell you how scary it is. Thank you.
No, I mean, protecting life, there's nothing more important than making sure you and your little baby are safe in this. But emotionally, I think walking away from everything that you have, all of your possessions, that's something that you deal with later. You talk about the franticness, Brian, of all these people around you also trying to get out to safety. What kind of guidance are you getting, if any, from local authorities? I know they've got their hands full.
Yeah, very, very, very little, Marnie. We've had an app on. I fell asleep for a couple hours, and then I was getting phone calls that we had a mandatory evacuation. So they've done a pretty good job of. You can log on to this app, and you can see what areas are in the red zone. Like, we're now in the red zone, which is mandatory evacuation. So they've done a good job. The police have been up and down my street to tell us to get out. But I will tell you that everybody feels like we're short of resources. Like it's almost like by the way, Marty, I live 2 houses from a fire station, and the place has been desolate since last night. So they're up against all odds. I don't know how anybody's going to fight all these fires. I mean, you're dealing with multiple fires, like in different locations. Just so your viewers know, where I live now is a different fire. It was the Eaton fire, which was a couple of miles from my house. That was what you saw all last night into the morning. Now there's a fire in a town called La Cañada. I don't know if you've heard of JPL, the Jet Propulsion Lab. That's the most historic space developing facility in our country. And there's a fire near JPL. And that's what triggered our evacuation, because we're only about a mile or so from JPL. So that's a different fire. That's what's absolutely terrifying is there are different fires. There's hardly any resources to fight these fires. It's a matter of just trying to get away, and these firefighters, we're going to have to get resources from other states. I heard. It's not a fair fight, basically.
No, David and Goliath, you're right about that. Hey, Brian, I know you got a long day ahead of you. We're going to stay in touch. I'm going to let you go for now so you and your family can get to a safe spot, but we'll be reaching out shortly. Thank you so much, and my thoughts go out to you and everybody else. What a scary scene.